Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Klamm, and today I will be going through how to create your digital student portfolio. I'm going to try to make this kind of fast, so here we go. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go to a new tab, go to Google, and we're going to Google Apps. We're going to use Sites. All right, come over here to Create in New Sites. And it will bring up a site that looks kind of like this. It's a little boring, but we can spice it up here in just a second. Very first thing you're going to do with your digital portfolio is we're going to name it Digital Portfolio. So here we go. You're going to put your name, space hyphen space, Digital Student Portfolio. Okay, then for your title page, you're going to name it your name. So go ahead and type your name there. And then we're going to enter, we're going to create a text box. Okay, if you look over here, you'll see three things: insert, pages, and themes. We're going to insert a text box, and we're going to name it North Valley Academy Digital Student Portfolio. Go ahead and name that. All right. I like to center these just because I'm that kind of person. I think things look a lot nicer if they're centered. So I'm going to go ahead and center that. And then I can also change this from just being normal text to being like a heading, which makes it really pretty. Okay, so over here where we were with insert, pages, and themes, we are going to create a page for each of your subjects. So I'm going to click on pages. Right now we just have home. Home is this what right here what we're looking at. We're going to do add page, and you're going to name it advisory. Okay, for me it's 9th grade advisory. For you it might be 10th grade or 7th grade or whatever. So 9th grade advisory. And done. Okay, so now we have a page for this class. I will go through and create a page for each one of my classes. For me as a teacher, I'm going to have, 9th grade advisory, 7th grade keyboarding, 8th grade keyboarding, painting and drawing, stuff like that. But you might have like 7th grade advisory and then 7th grade arts and then math. And so you will go through and have your pages for each of your classes. With themes, we can change these around. You can kind of look and see there's different looks. Right, things look a little different there. You don't want to spend a long time customizing these, okay? We have a lot to do and very little time. So try to get your information on here first and then go back through and start customizing some things. I do want to show you kind of a neat little thing about how to customize. Once again, this should be done after you are done creating your items in here. But something easy you can do is you can change the image. Okay, let's say I do select image and I can go in this gallery right here. There's all these kind of cool little pictures and I can pick one that I like, one that just kind of stands out to me. And I can put that on there. And that will change that background. Once again, don't spend forever doing that. All right, let's go back to our pages. So we have pages. We have the home page. We have our 9th grade advisory or whatever it is for you. So we're going to put in items, like evidence items in this portfolio. Because that's the whole point of a portfolio, is to show off that you have learned something, that you have done something, that you're excited about something, that you are proud of. This usually is done, or this typically was done, just by paper. So you would print off your portfolio and then you have to hand it to someone or mail it to them. We are in the digital era and we want to make it easy for you guys to be able to send your portfolios to people, to show them items digitally. So you can just email them off or you can just give them this link. So let's go ahead and go look at what we're going to put inside of our portfolio. If you go into your Buzz class, okay, so we're inside of Buzz, and then we're inside of the North Valley Academy Digital Student Portfolios. There's a folder there just for you. I created this last night, so there's not a whole lot of things in there yet. Okay, if you click on List of Items Required for Digital Student Portfolio, it will give you, hey, guess what? A list of items required for your digital student portfolio. In here, you will see that each teacher has their own little page. You can see we've got bunch of different teachers. Once again, I just created this last night, so your teachers haven't had a chance to put stuff in there, but I went ahead and worked on mine a little bit, and you will notice that for each of my classes, you'll see I've got my classes, advisory, 7th grade art, keyboarding, so on and so forth. So I've got each of my classes. For each class, there are 3 evidence items. You have to have 3 items. So your teacher, they have to pick at least 2 of them, but if they want, they can make the 3rd one like a student choice or something. You can also enter as many as you want. You don't have to stop at 3. So if your teacher gives you 3 things you have to put in there, but you stop and think, hey, there's one I really want to put in, you can put that into your portfolio, okay? It doesn't have to stop at 3. Let's take a look at, okay, so advisory here. My 3 items, I've got above and beyond, a choice project that you're most proud of, and the verse in cursive with calligraphy pen. Then you have a description here. These should be interesting. This should not be something really boring. It should be something that when you send this to somebody, they are excited to read about what you are giving them. They're excited to look at the pictures. This is not just a boring kind of slap it together and call it done. This should be exciting, all right? This is your portfolio. I have put in some links here to some things on mine. Let's say, for example, here I want December Above and Beyond, and I want you to include a description of what you did, why we did Above and Beyond, what was your part, did you have fun, you know, exciting things, and then I put in here a link, and that can bring them to photos. I've shared a whole bunch of photos with you guys. It's in 2017-18 NVA photos. If you haven't had that shared with you, let me know. I can share that with you. I'm just trying to share it with everybody at school. It's just some pictures I've taken throughout the year. So that's in there. All right, let's go back to our site. So we have our digital student portfolio, and I've got my advisory page here. I'm going to go ahead and create my evidence. So I'm going to go to Insert, Text Box, and I'm going to type in evidence item number 1. Hopefully I can spell it. Evidence item number 1, and I'll put in my description of what it is. That's where I can type in here. Okay, so I can type all that. I can also put in an image. If I go over here, I can actually double click here if I want, and it'll do it for me, images. But I can go over here to images, and I click, and I can go to my Google Drive, and inside of that NVA photos, I have December Above and Beyond right there. And I can go find a picture of us up there doing Above and Beyond and being adorable, and I can put in this image, and voila, there it is. So there's evidence item number 1. When I'm ready to do evidence item number 2, I can go over here to components and do divider. That will give me a nice little split in between these two, so I can tell very clearly I have evidence item number 1 and evidence item number 2. Okay, then I can do my text box, and I can type in here evidence item number 2. And then give my description. And I can do images. Let's go back and look at that list. So one of the things on my list said verse in cursive with calligraphy pen and ink. So that is an actual piece of paper. And you may be saying, Mrs. Klamm, how do I get my piece of paper onto this Google site, onto this portfolio? You can use you can use all kinds of different things for this, but I use Office Lens. You don't have to, but I do. This is what works best for me. I've downloaded this app onto my phone, and if I've got a piece of paper here that's kind of off kilter, a little kitty wampus, I take a picture with Office Lens, and it straightens up for me. It makes it look really nice, and I can easily and quickly upload it to my drive. And then when it's in my drive, I link it very easily by going here to Images, and I can link it in. There's lots of examples, actually, that I've done that kind of here and there. You can also embed different websites, things like that. If I have, let's say, a document, let's say there's a Google Doc that I'm supposed to have in here, I can easily come over here and go Google Drive, and I Google Drive, and I can go ahead and put in what I need to. Moving on. So I've gone through, I've looked at my items, I know how to put in items, I know that I will put a divider in between each of my items, I know that I'm going to have a page for each of my classes. Let's go take a look at one that I did a little bit earlier today. I was kind of playing with this. So I've got my advisor, or my home here, and on home I put in this fun little background. For advisory, I started putting in my items. Here I centered them, and you can see that I changed this from being just normal font over here to being a heading, and here I made this a subheading, so that can make that a little more interesting. I've got my pictures in here. 7th grade art, I found a picture to put in the background. I put my evidence, okay, and here I have a description that is a little more interesting. This is what your description should look like. It doesn't have to be a 5-page essay, okay? But you do want to have something that's interesting, something that someone can read and go, wow, that is actually really cool. I hadn't thought of it that way, or that's really neat that these kids are learning that thing. You want to be exciting, okay? Keep it exciting. When you are all done, let's say you've gone through each of your classes, give yourself a double check, and then we'll publish. Okay, so to double check, make sure that you have named this your name, space hyphen space, NVA Digital Student Portfolio. You've got your name on the home page, and then North Valley Academy Digital Student Portfolio. Check. Make sure you have a page for each of your classes. Make sure that you have evidence for every single one of your classes. At least three evidence items. A note on this. IDLA. You guys get to pick whatever you want for your projects. Just make sure that they are professional and that they show growth, that they show that you have actually learned something. All right, so go through, check that, make sure you've got all your pages, it's interesting, your descriptions are good, you've got dividers in between each of your things. When you're all done, we're going to publish this. So you're going to come up here to publish. Oh, please spell check, okay? Please spell check yourself. All right, then you're going to publish it, and it says your site has been published successfully. Yay! And you can go view this, and this is your site. Then you are going to share this with your advisory teacher. All right, you are going to share this with your advisory teacher. And I think that about covers it. If you guys have any questions, please let me know or let your teacher know. We would be happy to help you. Good luck, and hopefully by the end of this, you will have a portfolio that you can be proud of and excited about. Oh, by the way, when you share, this is how you share. Right here, you're going to share it with your teacher, okay? All right. Good luck, you guys. Have a good one.